Welcome back to Tales from the Cult. It is your hostess, Queen Karizma, and I'm back with another podcast episode. Make sure you hit the like button each time you listen in on a podcast, each time you replay the podcast. This is free information, and not everyone is doing this. You don't see many former IUIC members talking about this. You don't see people helping really um, educate the public. So make sure you hit the like button if you want to see more videos, and that will help me to help you all. So, if you're new to this channel, I go by Queen Karizma. I have a main channel which is Karizma Speaks Official, and on this channel, Tales from the Cult, I expose a cult, a Black Hebrew Israelite cult called IUIC, Israel United in Christ. And I basically detail my experiences, what happened when I was in the cult, how I was treated, how I was treated when I decided to leave, and how you can identify what a cult is and how they operate. Okay? And just to be clear, this is a destructive religious cult. A destructive religious cult. All right, check out my other podcasts if you want to learn more, and check out my playlist on my main channel, Karizma Speaks Official. I have a playlist on there that you can check out, which has all my old videos from 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So in today's video, I want to go ahead and give a little more information about how IUIC treats Black people. Because the founder of IUIC, or the founders of IUIC, are Black, which is why I still identify them as a Black Hebrew Israelite cult. Now, they will say, oh, well, we have Hispanics in our group and we have Native Americans. It doesn't change the fact that it is Black founded and the majority of the leaders are Black. They may have a Hispanic leader here, Indian leader here, but the majority are Black men who run and operate and manage this entire organization. Okay. And it is a business. It is a business. And this business tries to act like they're helping Black people. This business try to act like they are supporting and benefiting Black people. This business try to act like they're so different from the Christian church, and they have made the Christian church their opposition. They have created their own gods. They have worshiped animals and the stars and the moon. And I go into more detail in my memoir that will be released next Halloween. So my memoir, Tales from the Cult, will detail how this group, IUIC, worship different gods, okay, and how they idolize the men in the organization and worship their bishop, who allegedly is telling people to call him a general now, right? Copying off of another camp leader and their made up title. So when you first join IUIC, or if you first happen upon IUIC, more than likely is through a video on YouTube. This is how they get the bulk of their members, from the internet. And so they have been doing online classes, teaching their doctrines to people. They have been doing this for years now, even before COVID and before other churches saw how valuable it was to go online and preach, to go online and, teach their doctrine, to go online to recruit new members and subscribers and followers, and get money. Before everyone else, well, mostly everybody else started doing it, they were already ahead of the curve in that aspect. So most of the Black people in their organization, more than likely, they saw a video on YouTube. And the video is curated in a way that it emotionally baits the watcher. And especially if it's a Black person, they know that their target audience is Black people for the most part. And then they later expanded it, like I said, to Hispanics and Native Americans. But before, when they only believed that Black people could be saved based on the camps that they came from, the One West camps, Hebrew Israelite camps in New York that they came from, they strictly believed that only Black people could be saved. But then they saw the financial benefit of expanding the saving to Hispanics and Native Americans. So when you first watch their video or when you see them on the street, the main topic is about race. Now, we know race is a sensitive topic here in America, especially, and more specifically, white supremacy and racism is what I'm referring to. Now, the way that IUIC rage bait, right? Rage bait is what they do. The way that they rage bait is by conjuring up old feelings, old memories about slavery. They want to get a reaction out of Black people. This is how they hook you. This is how they bait you, hook you. And now you are caught in a cult, right? So they say, the white man, they make an enemy. They make the enemy plain. The white man is the enemy, right? This is what they say. And now we know historically it has been white people who have oppressed us. So we know that. So this is where the mind games and the mind twisting comes, because we do know that. We're not denying that there's, racism. We're not denying that, racist white people, anti-Black people in general have oppressed Black people. We are not denying that. We're not sitting here worshiping a white man with blue eyes and saying, oh, I'm Christian, like they teach people that Christians do. We're not doing that, right? But there is a difference between educating someone about racism and white supremacy and how to combat it. And then there's a difference between how they teach, which is victimhood, right? They teach, woe is me. I'm a victim because I'm Black. I haven't reached the pinnacle of my career or my dreams. I haven't accomplished this. I haven't done this because I am Black. Woe is me. I am so cursed. I can't do anything. I have to go to the white man to eat, sleep, drink, and be fed. This is how they race bait and rage bait Black people. And particularly, they go to the poorest neighborhoods for one particular reason. The reason you see them pop up in the poorest neighborhoods is because most people who live in low socioeconomic neighborhoods, they are ignorant. They're ignorant of Black history. They're ignorant of the history of the Bible. They have not read or studied the Bible. Most of us don't really even know what the Bible means because we're not theologians. What is it? Whatever they're called. We're not people who went to school to practice and teach and preach the Bible, right? I think it's theological. I don't know. The word, I'm getting tongue tied. Okay, somebody put it in the comments. But so now that they could go and pop up in these hoods, in the poorest neighborhoods, they could teach whatever they want because people more than likely are not educated and they don't know a lot about the Bible. They don't know a lot about slavery other than the fact that a lot of Black people, their history, their ancestry is rooted in slavery, right? Not all Black people, but a lot of Black people. And the fact that we don't know, we have not taken an ancestry test to find these things out. But what they will say is, you're an Israelite without any genetic proof, without any ancestry test. They're just basing this off of reading the Bible and choosing and picking and cherry picking certain scriptures to fit their overall narrative that, oh, we are victims because we're Black. We can't accomplish nothing because we're cursed. Woe is us. We can't do anything. We're dumb. You have to go to IUIC so you could be taught, so they could teach you because you don't know nothing. That's what their favorite line. Their favorite line was, you don't know nothing. This is what they tell their congregation. It's very verbally abusive. They call people stupid. They call people dumb. They say that you are ignorant, that you worship the white man before you joined IUIC. They make it seem like you were just a person who couldn't think for yourself, dumb to the world, dumb to racism, worshiping a white Jesus. They just make you seem like you were just whitewashed and stupid, and that your spiritual fathers and mothers, they educated you and they showed you the way. And now you gotta, listen and obey them. They want you to obey them, obey orders, right? So it starts off as them pretending. Everything is a performance with IUIC. Everything is performative. Everything is about outward appearance. They want to look the part, but they are not the part. So once you get sucked in, right, and based on my own experience being free of that cult, but I was in that cult for 2 years, about 2 years, right, from 2016 to 2018. And it's kind of like when you start a new relationship. It's all good in the beginning. It's flowers, honey, and roses. Everybody's having a good old time. And then little instances of abuse happens. Little flashes of disconnect happens, right? That shows you, wait, something is off here. Something is off here, because y'all presented yourselves like you were for Black people. You presented yourself like you were uplifting Black people. You presented yourself like you were teaching the Bible. But now this have become obey me or die. Obey us or die. And they will literally say that. They will literally say repent, which means obey them, and or die. That's how they use the word repent. If you don't obey them, if you don't listen to them, then you are not going to be saved. If you don't join IUIC, then you are going to hell. If you leave IUIC, you're going to die. This is the fear that they instill within the members. And so in the beginning, for instance, and again, I'm not going to get into too much detail because my memoir is coming out next Halloween, October 31st, 2026. So I'm not going to get into details on here. But I will say that it's love bombing in the beginning. It's, oh, you my brother, welcome. What tribe are you from? Oh, I don't know what tribe I'm from. Oh, look at the list that we created, and pick a tribe from this made up list that don't mean anything outside of the group, because nobody has studied genetics. Nobody has done an ancestry test. Nobody could literally prove that you're Israelites, but we made up this 12 tribe chart. So go ahead and live in a fantasy with the rest of us and pick a tribe from the 12 tribes chart. And from there, that's how you build your community within the cult, right? Within the group. So the group is not unified. It's cut off into sections based on tribes. So then you have the different tribes within IUIC competing with each other, how good their wives could cook or sew or bake unleavened bread, how good they look. Everything's a competition, just like in the so-called world. You see single brothers and single sisters looking at married men and married women, and there's fornication and cheating and drinking and smoking. It's all type of stuff you find out that's going on behind the scenes, and it doesn't even compare to what they preach. And you want to still believe in it. You don't want to believe that you have been scammed. You don't want to believe that you have been tricked, because at this point you've already invested in it. You already put faith in it, right? You put faith in men at that point. You're believing that these men could save black people, which they can't. And people don't want to see it for what it is. You're now a member of a cult who has to follow orders from leadership or be in fear of getting kicked out, because once you get kicked out, they tell you you're going to die. They tell you you're cursed. You're going to, all this stuff. So they make you fearful of leaving. They make you fearful of the world. They make you an outcast to the world. They make you antisocial. They only want you socializing with them. They want, even to down to your kids, they only want your kids socializing with other so-called Israelites. Other cultures, other races, other ethnicities outside of what they have on that 12 tribes chart, they're not welcome. Except what they don't tell you is there is a lot of white Hispanics in the group, and they are so ignorant because they think that Hispanics are just Mexican, and all this stuff. But what they don't realize is there are white Hispanics. Hispanic is a ethnicity, right? Hispanics, that's an ethnicity. And so when you look at especially a lot of the women who they allow inside the group who are Hispanic, who they prefer over black women, and who they marry off first, they marry off Hispanic women, they marry off Native American women, any woman that looks white, that's who they marry off to a black man first. You rarely see black men marrying other black women, because it's a few of them, yes. It's a handful of them, yes. But the main ones you see that they go all out for are other nationalities of women, the Native American women and the Hispanic women. And so what they don't realize is they actually let white Hispanics inside of the group, even though they say we don't do the Sabbath with white people. They don't let white people congregate. They say white people are the devil. White people are Esau from the Bible. Black people come from Jacob. And black people are Semitic. The true Jews and the Jews in Israel are imposters. They teach the Holocaust never happened. That was made up. They do all this stuff. Meanwhile, when you look at the people in the group, you see people who look white. And they're so ignorant, they just believe anybody who say that they're Hispanic or Native American. Oh yeah, I'm Native American. Oh yeah, I'm Hispanic. Though Hispanic, again, Hispanic is not a race. Hispanic is an ethnicity. There are white Hispanics. There are black Hispanics. There are mixed Hispanics. So when you look at the group, you're going to see so-called Hispanic men and so-called Hispanic women who look white. And they can't prove that they are white. They can't prove that they're not white. But everybody see that they look white. And according to them, Esau is the devil. So if Esau is the devil and Esau is the white man, why are you letting white Hispanics in the group? But that's besides the point, right? Black people are verbally abused by these black leaders, talked to any kind of way, like we're children, like we're their child or something, right? Especially the black women and the children, right? They do not care about black people. I will say that again. IUIC do not care about black people, especially once that black people leave the group. You could see how they treat black people, calling them the N-word, bringing up things that they were told them in confidence, right? You tell the leadership something because they teach you to tell them all your business through counseling sessions, right? And you think you could trust this person, you think they're godly, you think they're holy, and then come to find out when you leave the group, they put all your business out to the public. Every camp, every country that they're in, every social media account, they will make video after video after video slandering you without saying your name a lot of the times, but they will call you some type of derogatory nickname that they created for you, which is an inside joke for the rest of the group. And they will tell all your business. They'll joke and laugh about it, call you a N-word, call you a hood rat, call you a hoe, call you a Jezebel, all these derogatory terms. And in the same breath, they say they love their people. They say they love their people. They don't love nobody but themselves. They don't love nothing but money. IUIC is a money-centered organization. They're not people first. They're performative. They're a bunch of actors, right? And we know that so-called Bishop Nathaniel already did a video on this. Check it out on my main channel, Karizma Speaks Official. I already exposed that he was a former New York police detective of 3rd grade, which is the highest ranking detective. So you know how whitewashed you got to be in the NYPD with a mostly white force, police brutality. This is what they try to preach against. But Nate was a cop. You were with the white people abusing your own brothers. I've already exposed it. That's why he left the NYPD, because he got sued by 2 black men who accused him of a variety of things. He arrested them and they did not commit no crime. No different from the so-called anti-black police officer, the so-called racist white police officer. No difference. This is the guy who created IUIC, the guy who been slamming black men's head against dashboards and accusing them of robberies that they didn't commit. This is the guy who says he loves his people and he wants to educate his brothers and sisters, and we're living in a cursed world and we're cursed according to Deuteronomy and all this stuff to keep black people in victimhood, to keep black people emotional, to keep black people nonsensical, to keep black people defeated, and to have black people dependent not on white Jesus, but on black Jesus, who Nate has identified as himself through the images that he's created of the black Jesus, which resembles him. And people think that this is the greatest group in the world because they're in religious psychosis. That's what I'm calling it. Religious psychosis, where their mind is gone, is full of religion, full of spirituality, full of different doctrines, You could be so religious that you don't even critically think anymore. And that's what happened to me and a lot of other people. Because they keep you indoctrinated. They keep brainwashing you every day, every Sabbath. And they have different ways that they do this to make you more susceptible to what they're teaching. It's a slow process, but it works. Because we know that Nate has studied psychology. Police officers go through certain things. They have to take certain tests. He was a detective. He was upgraded, promoted from a police officer. He wasn't a regular officer. This man was the highest ranked detective in the NYPD. He knows exactly what he's doing. And the way that they speak to black people in the group, oh my God. You will be surprised how much black people get abused in that group, and they accept it because their so-called leaders are black, and they're glad that they're not, I guess, working for the white man. Oh, I'm working for a black man. But you're getting talked to, you're getting called the B word. Again, this will be in my memoir. I have over 100 pages already written. The book is done. The book is already done. It just needs editing. I'm not going to get too much into details because I have the stories, the tales in the book that breaks everything down. So if you want to know more, you could get the book when that releases next Halloween, October 31st, 2026. I'm not going to argue with nobody about my experiences. I've been talking out and speaking out since 2018. And I don't need to prove anything to anybody who don't believe. This is not my job to prove anything to you, which is why I'm still here, still alive, and still successful, and still talking about this. So if you come in here with that, you will be blocked. If you come trolling, you will be blocked. If you come over here Bible thumping and thinking you better than somebody, you will be blocked. If you come over here trying to put fear into somebody, oh, you gonna die, God gonna kill you, you will be blocked. I'm not dead. I'm well alive. I'm well and alive. So your curses don't work over here. You will be blocked. IUIC is not for black people. They are for money. You are now Nathaniel's slave. You a new slave. Congratulations. Because that's all they do. They have all the black men do their work for them in the streets, do their evangelism, I guess. Going to the streets like Jehovah's Witnesses, knocking on doors, giving out flyers of their doctrine, telling people to take down white Jesus and put up Nathaniel on your wall. Put up this black Jesus that we created, even though the Bible says to make no image at all. But they still made an image. They still disobeyed God. They still worship the moon. They still worship the stars. They still worship idols. They worship animals. Yeah. Worship animals. Worship the moon. Worship stars. Again, I go through this in my memoir. I'm not going to break it down here. It's a lot of stuff that they do not show the public. They tell them to cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Do not show this. Because people were catching on and showing people, look, this is how they treat their members. Now they say, cut the cameras. We're going to do all our abusive talking off the cameras. So we could maintain our image of loving black people when really we hate them. Look how we treat our brothers and sisters in the group, and look how they treat them when you leave. You are nothing to them when you leave. They will slander you. They will have a hate campaign against you. They will weaponize their thousands of followers against you. They will have you fearful of your life because there's stalkers. There's people who are in the group who live in your area, and now they done said all this stuff about you, put your real name out there, doxed you online, put your address out there, put your health information, whatever it is that they did, whatever you told them, and even if you didn't tell them nothing, they will make something up because their job is to discredit the black person who leaves so that nobody could have anything to say against them. And anytime somebody tell you not to listen, not to do this, don't do that, and it's not biblical, even though they try to make it seem like everything they do is biblical, oh no, you got to use your own discernment because it's a mind game. It's psychological abuse. It's spiritual abuse. It's exploiting ignorant people, exploiting people who are going through something, people who don't have a family to go to, people who don't have a father. That's why so many black men in there, fatherless black men who don't know how to lead themselves, don't know how to be men, and think that anyone who's successful, any black person who's successful, whether that's a rapper or a pastor, oh, I'm going to follow them because I can't be my own leader. I don't know how to be a man. So I need to follow something that I think is a man. That's why so many black men in there. Fatherless black men who have made Nathaniel their father, their daddy. And they worship him. And they follow orders. Or be disciplined. They don't treat black people the way you think they treat them. And it's only something you can experience to know. Anyone who try to come in here talking, oh, you don't know this, and I've been in the group for 2 years and you haven't, you've just been online watching videos, please. You can't tell me nothing. Just zip it, just shut your mouth, because you really don't understand what's going on. You can't tell somebody who was a member of the group that they don't know what they're talking about, that they're lying. You just don't want to believe the truth because of your religious psychosis. Bible this and Bible that, and you done lost your damn mind. Can't even think for yourself. Like God chose you to be somebody's judge, to lead somebody. No, you're not chosen. You're not smarter than anybody else. No matter how many scriptures you think you know. No matter what wisdom you think you know. And that's the thing about these Hebrew Israelite groups, especially IUIC. They operate off a spirit of pride and ego. It is not a spirit of love at all. It's not a spirit of being humble. It's not a spirit of being taught. They think that they know everything. They think that nobody could teach them anything. They think that they are gods, just like Jay-Z think he a god. What makes him different than from Jay-Z or any rapper or anybody they try to bring down? What makes them different when they're doing the same thing but put a Bible stamp on it? You still think you're a god, just like Jay-Z think he's the rap god. Jehovah, right? Hove. H to the is O, V to the is A. Jehovah. What's different from them calling themselves God and Jay-Z calling himself God? No different. The same black man, egotistic, want to be worshiped, and think that that's some sort of revenge, like somebody's supposed to worship you and follow you because you've been a victim all your life, and woe is me, and look at me. So now, instead of worshiping the white man, y'all, worship me. Worship the black man. Worship the black Christ. It's no different. And you all will have the same fate as well. No matter what you think in your head, you think you're so holy, you think you're going to be saved. I guarantee you're going to be in for a brutal awakening. You don't know God. Y'all don't know God at all. God is not with you. God did not approve that message. God didn't approve the image. God didn't say worship the moon. God didn't say do all these things you're doing. God didn't say be abusive to children and your wives and black women. God didn't say talk to black men any kind of way. God didn't say make these black men your slaves and do all your work for you and then berate them in front of everybody and public humiliate everybody. God didn't say hide Joy Morgan's murder and say that you wasn't a part of it and you didn't have anything to do with it when she was a part of your camp. God didn't say cover up all the abuse that people don't know about and all the stories that haven't made it public yet because people are too afraid to speak because they've been threatened. Their lives have been threatened. They're being stalked. They're being harassed. No, God don't approve of that. But soon enough, just like the other Hebrew Israelite camps and just like the other religious groups, soon enough, their day will come. And once that man is locked up, because it's only a matter of time, just like the other bishop was locked up for robbing from the members, sleeping in somebody's house for 3 years without paying any rent, and tore that man's house up and extorted money from that man, allegedly, and was in jail just like that. Oh yeah, it's going to happen to more of those leaders. More of those leaders will fall. This organization will fall. Because it's only down from there. You can only go so high. You can't beat God. You're not gods. You're not even close. This is all man worshiping. Man worshiping. Worshiping man. Everything God say don't do. That's what they doing. It ain't about God. It's about how many new members we could get so we could keep this money going. Donate, donate, donate. Guilt trip, guilt trip, guilt trip. Fear tactic, fear tactic, fear tactic. Lies, lies, lies. Cherry picking, cherry picking, cherry picking scriptures. Meanwhile, you say you for black people. You say you for your people. You say this, you say that, and you're not. It's all a damn lie. You're for yourselves and for your pockets. And just like the pastors, they're in nice big houses and got nice salaries, just like the pastors they talk about. Their kids going to nice schools, just like the pastors they talk about. Yeah, that's the truth about IUIC. They're for themselves. Cutthroat, callous, no empathy, berate people, publicly humiliate people. Try to say, oh, try to make you feel like you could trust them, and then they pull the rug from under your feet and tell everybody your business. Gossip about you, how broke you are, the raggedy car you drive, your hair, your wife, your husband, just gossipers. Talk about different races. They just so hateful. Everybody's to blame for their problems. No accountability whatsoever. I'm a victim, everybody. Look at me. I'm a grown black male victim. This is why I can't do this and I can't do that. How is that when you were in the NYPD? There's a lot of cops in IUIC. It's a lot of cops and undercover cops that y'all don't know about. And FBI agents. They're going to bring this whole thing down. You just keep on watching. You keep on watching. And I'm going to keep on making these videos. Their day of reckoning is coming. It's on the way. It's on the way because all they got to do is tell one person to do something to you. It's come to that point. They are listed as a terroristic group. It's only a matter of time. FBI is watching. Yeah, it's a matter of time before that whole organization crumbles just like the rest. You're not bigger than God. He's going to show you. So that's all I'm going to share. I'm not going to get into any more details. Check out the memoir when it comes out, because I go way more into details in my memoir, how they worship the moon and worship the sky and worship animals and worship Nathaniel and worship the leaders. Idolatry, a bunch of idolatry, drunkenness, adultery. So much up in that group that they hide and brush to the side, right? Thinking nobody gonna figure it out. So that's all I got. I want to thank all the people, all my supporters, for listening and tuning in. Again, trolls will be blocked. I will look back and see if there are any trolls. We will continue speaking. I will continue speaking. I will continue exposing. I will continue talking about my experiences. I don't care what nobody have to say. I'm not going back and forth with anybody. But for everybody who support the channel, everybody who subscribe, everybody who wants to learn more about this group, everybody who is open to learning and are critical thinkers, not followers, who do not have religious psychosis, who's not a religious freak, this is for you. You do what you will with it. This is free information, but I'm going to continue to speak out. So with that said, thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all on the next Tales from the Cult podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out my main channel, Karizma Speaks Official. I have over 23,000 subscribers. Y'all didn't stop a thing. Over 23,000 subscribers. Check out my playlist, Tales from the Cult, on my main channel. I have videos from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, talking about this group, because it's been about 8 years since I left at this point. All right. So I'm out, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.